Hi everyone, I'm Marie, I'm Matt's wife. I think you briefly met me a week or so ago when Matt wanted to record me just to say hello. We decided that it would be a good idea if I did a monthly catch up rather than a daily one, to give my perspective on Huntington's disease and how it affects Matt from my point of view and the family as a whole. So this is number one. We are in October, I think we're in the 17th or 18th, and this is my first one, my first vlog. So hopefully I'll get used to doing this. I'm not used to videoing myself, so I've actually made some notes so I don't forget. So how I found out about Huntington's disease, Matt told me basically the first night we were together, and I'd never heard of Huntington's disease. It was nothing in my vocabulary, I'd never come across it. I've been around, people with mental impairment, but nothing, I'd never heard of HD. So when we'd reached a stage where we knew we wanted to be together, and he said, I need to tell you I've been tested for Huntington's disease, I am positive and I will develop it later on in life. To me it wasn't as big as it should have been, and I think I went in blindly, but by then I'd already fell in love with Matt, so it wasn't even a question that it would affect us being together. Obviously, as time's gone on, I've researched and I looked and I've seen what it is. I met Matt's mum, who was fairly far gone in Huntington's, and I think I was in denial from the very beginning. Denial, yeah. It's like, I can't see it, it's not happening, Matt's completely fine. Yeah, HD's there, but I don't have to deal with it right now. And I think, yeah, I was definitely in denial. Matt would try and get me to talk about Huntington's, and Matt would put things up on his Facebook and YouTube about Huntington's, and I actually wouldn't read them. And I'd say, oh yeah, I'll read it later, and he'd say, have you read this? And I'd say, oh no, I'll read it later. And again, denial. If I read it, I had to face it. So eventually, one day Matt confronted me with that and said, why are you not watching this? Do you think it's interesting? You get, about HD. And that's when I really had my first morning, so to speak, of the fact that Huntington's disease was going to take my husband away from me, and I was going to have to face it. And that was my first real cry of accepting it. And that must be 3 years into our relationship. We were married and everything by this point, so yeah. So I was definitely in denial, and I wouldn't think that of myself. So anyway, that's how I found out about Huntington's and with Matt. Since then, just after that, Matt was made redundant, which knocked him for six, absolutely knocked him for six. And from that moment on, was when the Huntington's disease symptoms really started to show with Matt. And before that, it was just a case of nighttime bed rocking, where I felt like it was an earthquake, and it was actually Matt waking me up, shaking the bed. And that was like 3 times a year, if that. So from the moment Matt got made redundant, that knocked him for six, and the symptoms really, started to come out. He wouldn't sleep for a few days a week, which to anybody else just missing one night is bad, but Matt would miss 2 to 3 nights in the week, which would affect him, which would make it seem like HD symptoms were worse than what they are. So we went for a right worry stage of, oh my gosh, this is Huntington's, it's really come on. And it was actually a lot to do with lack of sleep as well, and stress. So I don't think we ever fully recovered from that, and Huntington's has played a bigger part in our lives than before. Matt's symptoms the last year or so are dropping things, moving, fidgeting legs, restless legs. He will do motions that to anybody else would look like just a habit that he has, but it is actually a movement that he's doing with HD. Matt gets paranoid, stressed very easily, and is quite impulsive. I think more so with finances, but we'll talk about that another time as well. So all these things have come on, and so it's made us rethink about the dynamics of our family, where before Matt was the main breadwinner, giver. Now we're having to think about swapping those over in the next 3 to 5 years, where I will be the main provider financially, emotionally, etc. We set up our joint bank account so that I have full access to all the bills and utilities, etc., which Matt has always done. We are in the process of trying to clear up a lot of debt that has incurred over the years, and we don't want it to be where Matt can't give up work because we can't financially survive. So we are trying to get our debts cleared, credit cards, things like that, and also our house needs doing. Matt is not DIY at all, it's terrible. So that falls on me as well. So that's a slow progress, very slow, because not only are we trying to find the finances to get debts cleared and the cars, we're trying to do the house as well, so our finances are quite stretched. So that's that. So we're getting things into place, thinking about Matt and his abilities in the next few years. For example, I bought a thing called a 1 cup, which is basically a kettle, but you just put 1 cup of cold water in the top, you press a button, put your cup underneath, press your button, and within seconds you've got hot water. So Matt doesn't have to pick up a kettle or pick up a hot boiling water, which can, he will easily spill over himself. So going down those lines with the finances and things around the house, we've replaced our glasses with polycarbonate glasses, which don't break, but they're just like glasses, and they're dishwasher proof as well. So Matt went through, he's dropping a lot of things at the moment. We've had a broken mirror yesterday, we've had a broken bottle of spice the day before, we've had numerous glasses and cups and plates being dropped. So we are having to put things into place now to help with that. From my point of view as a partner, emotionally, it's hard, and for everybody else that's a carer for someone with Huntington's disease that have the onset of Huntington's disease or pre-symptomatic, or what Matt is, peri-manifest is what Matt is right now. It is hard because you're having to change your whole outlook on your future. Now, this person's not going to be with you in your pension. You are not going to spend your 50s and 60s and 70s with the man that you love or the partner that you love, which can be quite upsetting sometimes. Yep. I look at Matt and I see a very able man, very able to do things and speak and eat and cook and go places and articulate himself very well. And I look at him sometimes and I can't even comprehend that that's going to change. So that's the hardest part, the whole thing, is knowing the person that you love very slowly. Anyway, that's enough for today, and we'll talk more next month. So thank you for listening, and leave comments.